Greetings everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your host, Captain Rye, and today's YouTube video is going to feature me in my Scharnhorst. Yes, that's right, my Scharnhorst, and it's one of probably my key vehicles. If you were to run a dossier on me, my Fletcher would be my #1 key vehicle, and the Scharnhorst would be my #2. And of course, there's a reason for that, and this battle is going to show you exactly why the Scharnhorst is quickly becoming my second best and most played ship in World of Warships. As the battle gets started, it's the estuary map and it's domination match mode. My team has already managed to capture the A cap point while the enemy team is struggling to take D. And very shortly here, my team is going to secure first blood. Now, looking at the situation, I've got an enemy Graf Spee who's pushing up here, so I do need to be careful of the Graf Spee because he does have 11-inch guns. They're similar in size and caliber to my own, and if I'm broadside on, of course, he can cause some serious problems with those guns. But it's also important to remember that he's got 8-kilometer torpedoes. His torpedoes go 2 more kilometers and he's got an extra one of them, so I do need to be careful and wary of those. Our friendly destroyer up there, Spoon, manages to secure a first blood for himself, but he takes a lot of damage in the process, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't actually survive this battle. Speaking of torpedoes, there are the torpedoes that I was talking about, probably from the Graf Spee. Now, he launches a widespread, so I avoid them pretty easily, and it's one of those things that I always say, there's really no reason to launch a widespread. You're either going to miss completely, or you're going to devastating strike them. Speaking of a devastating strike, I nearly secure one as I secure a citadel, and then follow it up with a second citadel to secure my first kill in this battle on that Spee. And now my team has managed to kill 2 enemy ships. 1 mine and 1 to the friendly destroyer. But of course, the enemy team has repaid the kindness by killing 1 of our destroyers and another one of our ships. But because we have 2 of the cap zones and the enemy team is still struggling to capture the D cap point, we have the points advantage, and we're going to continue to gain that. Now I take shots out here at the enemy shores that's up here. And of course he is sailing away, so these shots might not necessarily hit. And obviously, in this particular case, they completely miss. But this shores is turning broadside on as he tries to disappear behind this island. And he's going to disappear behind this island. The only question is whether or not I can actually cause some serious damage to him. And I do manage to do that by hitting him with a citadel, and that's going to ruin his day. It's also going to add the additional damage to me. And this was one of the higher damage games that I've actually had in the Scharnhorst. And I do mean that. By the end of it, you're going to be wondering how the hell I managed to do this. And yet, simultaneously, you're going to see exactly how I managed to do this. And you're going to wonder why you can't get enemy teams that don't let you do similar things to them. Now, I'm detected, and I'm not entirely sure by what. The shores is behind an island. The enemy battleship is just outside of, or just inside of, my detectability range. So I launch my scout fighter in an effort to see what's there. Now, this battle was recorded before 6.0 came out, so I don't have 2 of those fighters up. Hit the shores again and almost kill him. That's really disappointing that I don't actually secure the kill on him, because at the end of this battle, you'll see that that kill could have been my Kraken Unleashed, among others. Now I'm still detected, but I did just fire. The enemy carrier has popped up. He's out at range there. Hopefully I can hit him. And there's what was detecting in me. It's the enemy Atsuki. He is just about inside secondary battery range, so I've got him flagged for secondaries. But friendly cruisers in the way, and if you've got secondary batteries, your secondary batteries won't open up on the enemy until they can assuredly miss friendly ships in front of you. This is a good way to avoid getting team killer. Now, I do manage to kill the Itsuki by detonating him with a secondary battery hit. Holy crap, he's probably not happy about that, but that was actually kind of impressive. The enemy aircraft carrier has taken a lot of damage, and he is on fire. His engine is knocked out. I fire off shots there. I'm hoping I can citadel him and take him out, but it looks like I actually missed. Because his engine was knocked out, he was slowing down, and that is also disappointing. Rounds are almost reloaded, but as you can see there, friendly aircraft carrier's got his planes up there. I fire off more shots. Can I kill that CV before the carrier's torpedoes do? No, I don't. The enemy carrier gets taken out by a friendly carrier. That's good for him. Shots get there just too late. I was capping the B cap point there shortly, but I had so much momentum going forward, I just ended up leaving that. And it would take a lot longer to reverse back into that cap or turn around and risk broadside than it would to just continue forward and try and maybe capture D and deal with the enemies here. At this point, my team is in a pretty good position in the respect that we have 2 cap points to the enemy's 2 cap points, but we have more ships, and I've still got most of my health, so I feel like I can definitely deal a lot of damage to these enemy ships. Enemy New Mexico up here, he's stuck, and I've got him flagged for secondaries. I'm also trying to shoot at him. As you can see there, my secondary batteries are racking up the continuous hits, and I'm going to do a lot of secondary damage to that New Mexico. Managed to set him on fire with my secondaries, and I take shots out there. Only get 1 penetration, and that's a little disappointing, but I'm also being mindful of what's up in front of me. There's an enemy Colorado and an enemy Congo up there. But I've also got the Nagato and the New Mexico up here. While the New Mexico is not actually aiming at me, any of them shooting at me from pretty much any angle is going to cause some damage. So I decide I'm going to angle against the New Mexico and potentially against the Nagato because the Colorado's behind an island and the Congo's only got 14-inch guns. And the dispersion on that ship isn't the best. But as you can see there, I am taking hits in from that Congo. Switch fire over the Nagato because he's giving me more of a broadside. My secondaries are continuing to rack up hits on the New Mexico, who's almost dead, and that's when the enemy Emerald pops up. His smoke screen has finally dissipated, so I switch my main batteries over to him. Get a second secondary kill on that New Mexico. Can I get the kill on that Emerald? Come on. Yes, in fact, I secure a double strike, double tap, on the Emerald. So, secondary kill on the New Mexico, and then Citadel and finish off that Emerald for a double tap, and now I'm sitting at 4 kills. I've got the enemy Congo up in front of me, who is basically full strength. I fire shots, they don't quite clear the island, and that's a little disappointing. But I've got torpedoes up, and there's the enemy Colorado. So now I've got 2 different warships up in front of me. Both can cause serious damage, and I don't have a lot of health left. I've taken a lot of health. I'm trying to recover some, but this isn't really an engagement I expect to win, and I'm not actually playing at this point to win and survive the game. At this point, I'm really just playing to do as much possible damage as I can. I get my forward and rear guns lined up on this Congo. Maybe I can kill him. There's my Confederate and high caliber. Managed to hit both the Colorado and the Congo with torpedoes, but the Congo quickly puts out the flooding that I was doing with the torpedoes. It's a little disappointing, but the dive bombers from the carrier are going to set him back on fire, and that's going to finish off the Congo. And that's disappointing that I didn't get to kill the Congo, because that would have also been a Kraken Unleashed. The Shores or the Congo would have given that to me. But look at the damage I've done. 198,000 damage. Almost 199,000 damage. I did die, but I've got 2 close quarters, a devastating strike, a double strike, and a battleship of all things. A Confederate and a high caliber. Overall, an incredibly good game. And at this point, my team has got it locked up, and we do win the battle. 198,893 damage. Again, almost 199,000 damage. Almost 200,000 damage if you're going to round up from there. 644,000 credits earned, as previously mentioned. Double strike, close quarters ×2, devastating strike, high caliber and Confederate, detonated that poor Atsuki. Top of the team for XP earned with well over 2,000 base XP. And, you know, overall, the team did excellently. And this is one of the reasons, like I was saying, that the Scharnhorst is my second key vehicle. If you did a dossier on me, it would say Fletcher and Scharnhorst. Anyway, that's it for today's video. If you like the video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below, and let me know what you think of it. If you'd like to get semi-regular channel news and updates, you can do so by liking and following my Facebook page. If you'd like to help support me and my channel, I encourage you to visit my Patreon and consider donating a small monthly stipend, a couple of dollars. Anything helps, really. It does. If you'd like to watch me play World of Warships live on Twitch, among other games, you can do so by liking and following my Twitch channel, assuming Twitch and Shadowplay are cooperating, which they haven't for the last 2 weeks, and that's very annoying. And I apologize for anybody who's been trying to watch that, has tuned in and not seen my stream. And finally, of course, if you'd like to submit a replay, you can do so by sending it to my email. And you can find the links for all of those in the video description down below. And as always, I'll see you next time. This is Captain Rye, signing off.